Hi, I'm Kate and welcome to my second book haul. So I haven't done a book haul for quite a while and I have a lot of books to show you. I won't talk about each and every book a lot because it will be an hour-long video and I don't want that. So let's begin. The first two books are classics and they are both from French authors, and the first one is The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. I think probably most of you know the story about Three Musketeers because there's a lot of movie adaptations based upon this book. I know the story about Three Musketeers and I haven't read this book, and I'm very excited to read this because I heard it's a good book. Next book is Les Misérables by Victor Hugo. I hope I didn't butcher this title because I don't speak French. This book is about a man who was sentenced to spend 19 years in prison because he stole a loaf of bread, and the story follows his life after he gets out of prison, I think. I have no idea when I'm gonna read this book because it's huge. And the letters are so small. So someday it was really cheap, so I decided to buy it. The next book that I have to show you is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. First time I've heard about Donna Tartt is on BookTube, so when I saw this book in a bookstore for a really cheap price, I decided to buy it because I read the summary on the back, and I really liked it. It's, I think, like a mystery thriller about some secret society in college, so I can't wait to read this. The next book is Demian by Hermann Hesse. Hesse? I'm not sure. I haven't read any of his books and I really wanted to. I got this one, this is a used copy. I exchanged it for one of the books I read and didn't like, so I got this one instead. But I was told to start with Siddhartha, so this book will wait until I get and read Siddhartha. The next four books that I have to show you are also exchanged. There was a small festival that was all about book exchange, so I exchanged some of my books that I read at the end didn't like or never gonna read again. So I got Man and Boy by Toni Parsons. I'm not sure what this book is about. I've heard that it's a very beautiful story, so yeah, I decided to give it a go, so I picked it up. The next book is Assassins by Thomas Gifford. I have never heard about this book, but I read the summary in the back and I really liked it. It's about a man who is trying to discover some secret society, and that takes him all around the world. It's something like Dan Brown books, and I really like books like Dan Brown's because they're exciting and they're quick reads, so I hope I will like this one. The next book is Little Hands by Andrés Barba. He's a Spanish author. I have also never heard anything about this book, but it's compared to Lord of the Flies by William Golding, and it's about an orphanage. And it tells a story about how children can be mean and evil also, and I like those types of stories. The next book that I have is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Because English is not my first language, I always found it very difficult to say the last name Fitzgerald. So I hope I'm not butchering it too much. So I believe most of you know the story about the story in this book. I haven't seen the movie, I haven't read the book, so can't wait to read this one. The next book that I got is The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. I first heard about this book on Liz DeRay channel. It's about a man who who owns a bookstore, and one day he discovers a baby in front of his bookstore. When Lindsay talked about this book, I really liked the summary, so I decided to pick it up. It sounded like a very beautiful story. The next book that I have is The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. I heard about this book on BookTube, and I really liked the summary on this on the back of this book, so I decided to pick it up. I think it's a really sad story, so I'll need to prepare myself before reading it. This book here, it's not translated as The Shock of the Fall, but it's translated from some other title. I think this book has two titles, The Shock of the Fall, and I think Where the Moon Isn't, or something like that. I will check what the other title is and put it somewhere on the screen. The next book that I have to show you is The Lost World by Micheal Crichton. I haven't read any Micheal Crichton books, and I always wanted to, so I'm very excited to read this one. There's a lot of Micheal Crichton books that I'm interested in, so if I like this one, I'll definitely pick some other Micheal Crichton books. The next book that I have to show you is a sci-fi classic, and it is Blade Runner by Philip K. Dick. So I have never read a Philip K. Dick book, and I always wanted to, because he's a famous sci-fi author, and I really like sci-fi, so I haven't seen the Blade Runner movie. I know it's directed by Ridley Scott, so I'm very excited to read this book and then see the movie. Next is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Also, first time I've heard about this book is on BookTube, and it got me really interested because I like stories about World War II. Then later I found out that this book won a Pulitzer Prize this year, so it got me interested even more, so I can't wait to read it. It's about a German soldier. It's told from two perspectives. One is a German soldier and the other one is from a perspective of a blind girl. That's quite a pile of books. The next book is the third book in the trilogy, and that trilogy is Mistborn by Brendon Sanderson, and this book is called Hero of Ages. The third one is called Hero of Ages. I haven't read any of Brendon Sanderson books or any of the books in this trilogy, so I waited to buy the third one so I can marathon all three. And that's, I think, maybe next thing I will read. So, moving on. Next is Allegiant by Veronica Roth, and this is also a third book in a trilogy. The trilogy is Divergent, as most of you probably know. I haven't read this book, so I'm a bit sad to finish this trilogy because I really like it, but also excited to see what will happen in the end. Oh, I've been holding this book upside down, so here. Yeah, and that's that. The next three books are the first three books in a series. I had some second thoughts about picking up this series because it's really long and it will take me a lot of time to read them and a lot of money to buy them all, but I've heard a lot of great things about this series, so I decided to give it a go, and this series is The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. So the first book is The Eye of the World, the next one, the second one, is The Great Hunt, and the third one is The Dragon Reborn. So I won't be picking up this series just yet because it's a long series and I have time to read it, I guess. So I don't know when I'm gonna start reading this series. I had some luck with the second and the third book because they're used copies and they're like new copies, It's like no one read them, and I got them really cheap. So that's it for these 3 books. God, I have a lot of books. Next is Child 44 by Tom Smith. This is a mystery thriller set in post-Stalin Russia. It's a trilogy about Lev Demidov, Leo in English, Leo Demidov. It's a, I think it's children are going missing, so he investigates the disappearances. I know the movie came out recently with Tom Hardy and Gary Oldman, and I really want to see the movie, even though I heard it's not a really good movie. So, but I am excited to read this book mostly because it's set in Russia and post-Stalin Russia. I think it's an interesting period, so I'm excited to read this one. The next book that I have to show you is actually not my book. My boyfriend got it, but it's really cool, and I want to show it in this book haul, and that is The World of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin and Elio M. Garcia Jr. and Linda Antonson. So in this book, the world from the series The Songs of Ice and Fire is described, all the characters and worlds and I don't know, I haven't read the Game of Thrones series, so I'm not sure who is in these pictures or what is happening here, but really it looks really cool. The artwork is amazing. Look at that. That's amazing. And there's family trees in the back from all the families from the books. I want to show you some big art. Here. It's amazing. Look at that. Look at it. It's so amazing. I think I said amazing a lot. I won't be reading it soon. Even though I really like it, I want to read the series, of course. The next 2 books that I have to show you are actually graphic novels. The first one is Avengers Civil War. I actually read this today and it's great. It's about a war between 2 sides of superheroes. On one side you have Iron Man and his followers who want to reveal all the secret identities of superheroes, and on the other side you have Captain America and his followers who wants to keep the identities of superheroes a secret. So it's really amazing, and the art is quite nice. It's great actually. I don't want to show any spoilers, so I'm looking something to show you and not spoil anything. So here is something. I like the colors that are used in this graphic novel, so yeah. And the second graphic novel that I have to show you, and the last thing in this book haul, is The Big Fat Kill by Frank Miller. This is the 3rd volume in Sin City series. I really love Sin City series. I've read the first 2 volumes, and in those 2 volumes the stories are not connected, so I think the story in this volume is also not connected to the first 2. So there's something to show you, the artwork. Can't wait to read this one. I really like Sin City series. So that's it for my book haul. I won't even try to pick this book, all of these books up. There are a lot of books, and I think I'm gonna hurt myself if I try to lift them. So that's it for this book haul. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye!